Hello and welcome to another tutorial. Today we're going to be painting this realistic strawberry in pastel pencils. You can learn lots of different techniques with this, such as the highlights, the shadows, creating depth, and I will link all of the supplies that I'm using down below. So this is going to be a really fun tutorial, easy to follow along. So if you could like, comment, subscribe, I would really appreciate that. So grab your paper and your pastel pencils and let's begin. Okay, so to begin with the strawberry, I'm going to go in with the seeds. And this can be quite finicky, so don't worry too much about getting them exactly where you see in the reference photo. So taking 692 shade, Stabilo Carbothello, just going to begin to do some seeds down the side here. Just small dashing marks. I'm using this yellow because I want to put a lighter shade on top to give a slight highlight on the seeds. So let's carry on with these seeds. You don't want to press too hard because we won't be able to put the highlight on top either. So just going around, we can easily go back over these if needed. I've just put a rough indication, as you can see, but they're a little bit different. But I'm not making sure that it's perfect or it will drive me nuts trying to get every single seed. As long as we get the idea, people won't be looking at if the seeds are perfectly. But what I do like to do is kind of like a diamond shape, can you see? Like so. So here's a diamond shape, here's another. Probably put like another one about here. There. Just to give it some depth and interest in the seeds. And they become smaller at the side as the focus is more in the middle of the strawberry. So we'll continue that. For the seeds on this side, I'm going to swap colour because these seeds will be more in shadow. So I'm going to go in still with the yellow and then on top of them use the 680. It's kind of like a burnt orange shade. Now taking the 105, just like a light off white colour, just on the tip of the seeds, creating a small mark. See a slight bit of orange around the seed, so I'm going in with this orange shade from the Stabilo pastel pencils, shade 221. Just carefully going around that seed. Doesn't need to be thick or anything like that. Don't need to press too hard. And again, don't cover the yellow that we've already done, just carefully go around. And on the left hand sides of the seeds, kind of making like a backwards C shape. I'm not going all the way around completely, because they'd be slightly turned inwards, so we wouldn't see it on that side. I'll leave it here because they're quite dark. Now I'm taking 310, which is a red shade. I'm going to go around the seeds. This is like going to really bring it to life. And blow away the dust as you do this. Making sure not to go over the orange completely, just going around carefully. We can darken it up if we need to. So yeah, going around like that. I'm going to go in with the highlight shade here. Going around what we've done with the 681. It's just a nice baby pink shade. This is the shade of the highlight. Blow off any extra dust. So we got the main initial highlights, but I think I want to add some more red in there. So just to give it more interest, you know. Do a few more bits in there. Just some little small marks here and there. Want to do red around these seeds. Sharp pink pencil, 681. I'm going to go back in. Just like this. Okay, done that. Let's go around the seed. I'm going to bring it slightly, ever so slightly up. Going again, bringing it up this side. Let's go in between. Just bringing it up. Again, not pressing too hard because we want to add more layers on top of this. I can bring the highlight a little tiny bit up this side, like so. I'm going to go in a little bit of a darker shade, ever so slightly, around the other side of these seeds. Like this. So on the right hand side of the seeds, I'm just adding this shadow with 640. I like that. I like that more. It's really bringing it to life. It looks quite flat otherwise, but this is why you build it up in layers. And we will also add some more shades in here as well. Not only just the one shade of red, but I have several more. Like, we're currently using this one, but I can definitely see this touch of this. We could even throw in some pink. Let's do a bit now. I'll add a bit of orange in there. Just going around in between. Not completely covering what we've done. Just giving an indication of some orange here and there. With the 305 as well. Even a bit darker. This is darker pink. Okay, keep that on there. Left hand side, right hand side, sorry. A bit more of this purple. And up the top here, I'm not pressing too hard with this. This can make it look brown otherwise, and we don't want it to be brown. That's why we put the red first, because if we put this first, it would definitely give more of a brown effect on the strawberry, but we want it to appear dark red. But with the Stabilo pencils, the darkest red is not very dark. So we have to build up with layers with other colours. And that's what gives realism as well, is getting the values correct. So getting your absolute darkest darks in and your lightest lights in. It's going to really bring your picture to life and give it a look of realism. Okay. So again, with these paintings, like I said, it is a lot of back and forth. But it's so worth it. And it really comes to life when you add all of these tiny small highlights. But I want to add a bit more here. A bit more on the right hand side. If I've done too much, I can just go over with the red to soften it out. yeah, I quite like the look of that. Blend that in there. Using that pink shade to kind of blend the red in with the lighter colour that we used earlier. There we go. And then it gets progressively darker on this side. So I'll go around the seeds, these shapes, completely with the 640. Being careful not to press too hard. Just a rough indication. Let's go back in with the red. Tidy up these highlights and marks. Let's go in circular motions, not pressing too hard because I want to blend some of that dark purpley shade in with it. But again, just going in, around. We can make the seeds on the right hand side darker if needs be. We'll see how it looks. It's really dark over this side. Okay, bringing it up this side, doing the outline. Gently taking the pencil, the 640, sorry, circular motions to build up this reddy tone. We don't want to go in with something like black because that'll make it appear very flat. Won't give it dimension. It will look quite dull. But normally that's the pencil people jump for. When they want to darken something up, they want to use black. But I try and stay away from the black pencil and darken with other colours. You can also tone down colours by using a colours complementary colour. So like reds is green. So if we did want to make this here not so bright, we could go in with green on top of it. I'm going to add some more orange here. back in, this time with 305 on top of this, what we've done here. Blending it. And like I said earlier, you can blend with the pencils. But I also like using a paper stump on my finger. But for a small area like this, I wouldn't use my finger because we've got the seeds and it would just completely smudge all of it. Blending with your finger is good, but for a bigger surface area with not lots of details already in there. So use the pencils where you can. I'll show you a couple of tools that you can use to blend. This is a paper stump. They're really cheap, you can get them from Hobbycraft. I'm in the UK, so that's where I go, or even Amazon have them. Or if you don't have these on hand, and normally every house has cotton bud, Q-tip if you're American. And these are good for blending as well. You can get a nice smooth finish with these. So I'm going to go in with the paper stump. Just gently, not pressing too hard, blending in what we've done. And use a clean side. You don't want to, if you've got dark colour already on your paper stump, if you do use these, you don't want to smudge all of that onto your beautiful artwork. But this blending will pick up a lot of dust, so you need to remember to blow away the excess dust. Like so. Okay. Right, I've tidied up that edge. Okay. I'm going to continue with this dark shade again, going back in. It's a lot of back and forth, but we're going to kind of do like a reverse highlight. So we're going to go around these seeds that we did, kind of like the highlight on this side, but leaving some of the red underneath. I've smudged a lot of these seeds, but like I said, it's okay, we can go over them again. I'm not pressing too hard because this is quite a dark shade and we still want it to appear red, like a dark, deep red. If we use brown, it would muddy out the red completely. I think that's why I've gone in with this. It's all about trial and error, all about practicing and just seeing what works. And that's why I love pastel pencils for realism, because they're so forgiving. To be able to just be like, oh, actually I don't like that, smudge it out and go in with another colour, given that you haven't pushed too hard or anything like that. Like if something's just not looking right with it, it's very forgiving and easy to fix and go over. So you can test which colours you want, which ones look right, and so forth. So as you can see, I'm kind of going around these seeds, doing a reverse highlight. I really like the effect that that's given. I do want to darken down some of these seeds now. Where they've smudged, just go over them. Like so. Yep. I like the look of that. I'm going to go around the seeds again with that dark purpley shade, kind of how we did on the other side. Just keep it on the right hand side because of the way the light is hitting, and that's how you also create realism, is checking where your light source is coming from and working with that, because creating shadows gives the subject dimension. So on the right hand side, just bringing it round. These seeds, I'm really liking that. I think that's looking good. Bring it up. Okay. Going around where this leaf would be, because the leaf would naturally cause a shadow, especially if the light's coming from this direction. You can see the light's coming here. But we can just add like a couple lighter areas here and there, you know. There we go. I'm liking that a lot. Tidy up some of these seeds. Like so. And we left a couple like areas around the strawberry lighter when we did the reverse highlight, so you can just touch them up. Add in a touch of orange, not completely. We want to keep it quite dark on that side. Okay, let's go in with the leaf. I want the leaf to be quite vibrant. So we're going to make some veins in this leaf, and I've just gone around the outside, but bring some veins down through this leaf. Not pressing too hard, these are the base layers. Going around the stalk. Again, bringing it up. like so. Okay. To sharpen my pencils, I use this Faber-Castell handheld sharpener. I really like it, it's quite good. It's got 3 different sizes. I had a sword one. I brought it once, and the first time I put a pencil in it, it completely snapped and jammed the machine. So it kind of put me off because they're not the cheapest sharpener, and it broke straight away. So what I do, and what I actually think works pretty well for me anyway, is I begin to sharpen it in this. And when I've got a nice sharpish point, I take some sandpaper. You can use this for yonks, look. I've used so many colours on it. And I just take the very tip and twizzle it back and forth. And it will give me a nice sharp point. Because with the pencil sharpener alone, you can't get a sharp point like this. With the sword, I think it's sword. Did I say shark earlier? I think it's, I can't remember if I said sword or shark. Either way, yeah, that one kind of bothered me that it just broke straight away. I was like, okay. But this has worked for me. Let's take that green, it's very bright. But we can tone it down or keep it bright, go over it with some darks. I'm just filling in between these gaps where I put the veins on the leaf. Again, very sharp point. And this is for smaller details, smaller areas. You want it to be quite sharp, and getting fine details is important to have a sharp edge. And then to wipe off the excess pastel, just take a microfiber cloth, twizzle it in there. This is 575. Let's go around this lime greeny shade. Around the outside. Okay. Taking this yellow shade and just going in where the veins are, just on the outside. Not completely covering it, just bringing some detail into the leaf. So like so. I really want to make it much darker. Top of these leaves, so I'm just going to bring in some of that dark purple shade. The 640. The dark purpley brown, I should say. Just bringing it on the tips of, the tops of the leaf. Let's begin to work up the stem. Going in that dark shade. Okay. And some more small highlights. Keeping it dark down the bottom. I think we're nearly done. Just touching it up here and there, a bit more dark, I'd say at the top. But have a look at your own picture, see if you're happy with it. Could add a bit more orange up here. Orange and the strawberry. Okay. A few random lines and such. Any of the seeds that you need to fix, go ahead. Yeah. Just tidy up this edge. This is Mono Zero Tombow eraser. It's perfect for erasing up very small areas. Instead of using my big kneaded eraser, I do like the kneaded eraser because I could have moulded it and then just gone around the edge. But anyway, I'm going to call this finished. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and yeah, I would love to see your pieces. So you can tag me on my Instagram and give me a like, a subscribe and comment, and I'll see you next time.